Hi everybody, it's Evelyn. Today I am going to work on this adorable image by Emily Illustrators called Recycled Berry House. And you may recognize this because this is if you saw Emily and Belinda's joint stream doing finger paints, this is the image that they did using finger paints. I will tell you now, I am not using finger paints. No. It was fun to watch. Not going to do it. Not my forte at all. But I am going to use my Inktense. And I've only used Inktense on a picture one time before, and it was an unmitigated disaster. I had never seen them used. I didn't know the colors. I put way too much on, and it just became a mess. So this morning I took the time and I actually swatched my Inktense for the very first time. And you'll notice the paper's all curly. This is I swatched them on a 32-pound copy paper, and I think I used way too much water while I was swatching, but at least I have an idea what the colors are now, and I don't have to guess. So I printed Emily's wonderful picture on 65-pound Nina paper, so hopefully the paper will stand up a little bit better. I was going to do this live, but I decided that if it was going to be disaster, it would be a better disaster on video than being on live. I will show you either way. I just feel like doing it live and having it turn out to be an absolute disaster would just something that I probably would never ever recover from. I think it would just be a blow to my my self-esteem. So let's get started. And some of my Inktense I have not sharpened, and I'm not sharpening them a lot. I did get a nice print on this, and I'm using my Tagal. And well, let me turn on some light here. There! Now you'll be able to see what I'm doing. I forgot to turn on my light. Tell you, today has not been a good day. But I'm going to start with mid vermilion, and I'm going to start with a cup. And I have watched several videos on people using Inktense since in this last couple months. Since, as I said, the first time I touched them, I had never seen anybody even use them. I found the idea of them intriguing. I thought, oh, those sound like so much fun. Little did I know that there's a learning curve with these babies. There's a definite learning curve. So, they're not like, and I'm not a watercolors, and I don't get along. I just can't get the hang of doing watercolors. I can't. I never have been able to. So the fact that I'm venturing out and going to use Inktense is a big step forward to me. And I'm just putting down a layer where I want my darks, because once I pull out, it will lighten up, obviously. I actually spent the money and I got an actual Caran d'Ache palette for this endeavor. I figure I have an entire box of watercolor pencils, markers, palettes. I got the Caran d'Ache Neo 2 that I don't use because I'm just not I'm just, me and water just doesn't get along. But I figured, well, in for a penny, in for a pound. You have these products. Let's see if you can figure out how to use them. So that's what I'm doing today. And as I said, this may turn out to be absolutely stunning. It may turn out to be an absolute disaster. I will show you either way. I just didn't want to do it live. Forgive me, but live is going to take when I advance to a live stream. I want to be doing something that I'm super comfortable with on my first live stream, where I know the colors and am well aware of how to work with them. I think because trying to get the timing between reading the chat and keeping up with chat and coloring is going to be a challenge in itself. I have been encouraged by several friends to do live, but let me get a little better. And that notification was from my boss, but I will look at it after I get done. Here, I'm going to start with that section. I'm going to put my vermilion red down. Excuse me. I'm going to look. Okay, and now I am going to start with a small regular brush and see if that works better than the water brushes. I'm not sure. I use water brushes to do the swatching, and I know people go on about how great water brushes are. I have trouble controlling the amount of water whenever I use a water brush. And I think that's part of my problem. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to use a regular brush, and I know I'm using probably a smaller brush than I should for this area, but I'm being cautious and trying to not make it a disaster. I'm trying to get the best results that I possibly can out of this endeavor, because I know once you activate Inktense and they start to dry, you cannot reactivate them. It's what it is whenever you activate them. It's bound. You can go over them, but you can't reactivate them. And which with watercolors you can put more water and kind of reactivate and move them around. I actually think this brush is a little too small. I'm going to go with a slightly bigger brush. And these are cheap brushes. Until I get comfortable, I don't want to spend the money on really high quality brushes until I know that this is something I'm going to be doing on a regular basis. And I'm trying desperately to be neat about this. I don't know if I'm succeeding or not. I see other people using them. They're just so free with them, and I'm like, I'm terrified. So maybe that's part of my problem with watercolors. I'm not confident enough whenever I use them to to make my projects turn out. I got told that I need to have confidence. That's not exactly. So I'm going to take my Nina here board and I'm going to scribble a little bit of this mid vermilion on there, so I can pick up additional color to fill in some of these spots. And this may be it. This may work better for me than coloring on the page. We'll see how this works for me. Oh, that works a lot better for me. Much better control. Okay. Well, I'll be using the board a lot more now. And the nice thing is they spread. You don't have to have a lot of a pencil to get the job done. I just, and I know it's Sunday, and the noises you're hearing, if you're hearing them, is my phone going off from people from work. It's like, people, come on, it's Sunday. But I do plan on going. I'm going to be working later today, so it's the end of a quarter, and we've got a lot of work to get done before June 30th. And my boss is adding an incentive of, hey, if you get everything done, you get a week off without it costing you vacation time. So everybody's scrambling to make sure that stuff gets done in time. It's a nice incentive. My boss loves to give us incentives to do good. So that's the first part of my cup. And I'm gonna clean my thing. As I said, the drawing on the board and doing it that way seems to work much better for me. So that's what I'm gonna do, and I don't want to. So that's what I'm going to do for the rest of this picture, is put it on the board and have at it. Okay, some cup over here. I'm trying for a specific look on this picture. I just don't. I guess I could go over the lines. I don't like the line. Don't want to color the leaves, but I can go over those lines, the little lines of the flowers. Just lines. I'm trying to be so careful. I don't want to ruin this image by Emily. She does such. All her stuff is so cute. And I've got several of her pictures, and I've done several of her pictures. I don't know if I've posted all of them, but I have done several of her pictures, and they're always so adorable and so cute. And it's like, and I look at it at the end, and it's like, you took a cute picture and made it ugly. So I'm trying. Oh, I did this stem. So I'm trying to do this justice. I figure, hey, I saw them do this in finger paint, you know. So I have an out. and if you didn't get to see that stream with Belinda and Emily doing this picture in finger paint, find it. It wasn't that long ago. It is a blast to watch, and it's amazing. It proves it doesn't matter the medium that a good artist is using. What matters is the talent of the artist, because considering they were using just their fingers and doing finger paints, they both did amazing jobs on that picture. So now I want to do something. This month is June. It's the month of June, and one of the hashtags for this month is Amazon Tammy is doing rainbows, and I want to honor her hashtag by doing a rainbow. And I am going to use, I don't want that one, I want the golden yellow. Again, I'm putting it on my palette. That's going to be my yellow. And what's this one? This is not cherry. Okay, I'm going to use chili red as my red. And burnt orange as my orange. Burnt orange. I think I just put that back in the wrong spot. Burnt orange. Red. And I need a nice green. And I think I'm going to go with field green as my green. And I know I'm kind of doing this off to the side. Field green is my green. And then nice blue. How about bright blue as my blue? And then what's this? And violet as my purple. So I got all my colors of the rainbow. And I'm going to take my thing, and I'm going to start with red. I kind of want this dark. And I am not good at drawing. My artistic skills are not the best. But I do want to honor the Pride Month and that okay. Now my orange. I'm going to turn this a little bit so if you get this while it's still wet, you can blend a little bit at those color changes. Not much, not with the Inktense. Checking my water. If it gets too dirty, I have a cup to throw the dirty water in, and I can put fresh water in. I am using a small little cup. Let me bring that down. A small little cup with a very minimal of water. That way, I figure if nothing else, I can change water a lot faster than in that, and if I dump it over, I'm not dumping ounces and ounces of water on the floor. And really, I'm not going to dip my brush in and come up with a brush filled with water and suddenly have a puddle of water on my page. Or at least that's the idea. Or at least that was my initial idea. Tell you what, I'm not that great, and my lines are not straight. I'm going to take a small little brush. Get some of that yellow and get that in that small area there. And yes, this is a teeny tiny little brush. I don't know. There, you can actually see. A little bitty fine brush. Okay. I'm going to activate my blue on my palette. I'm going to have a wider stripe of blue than anything else. Okay, I'm done. I just shut off my phone. Sorry, because apparently my crew at work is decided that Sunday is going to be the send silliness back and forth. I'm blessed with working with a bunch of people that are friends as well. We've become friendly, and we send silly grifts back and forth, and that's what they're doing, is sending silly grifts. Okay, and the final color is purple. Oh, I like this purple. Hey, it's not the most perfect rainbow, but you got the job done. Not bad. Not bad at all. Now, I want to do the rest of the cup, and I'm going to put some more color down since I have a large area to cover. I'm trying to make sure that I don't get in where I've already got wet. Some more color. I'm trying to make it look. Think of all the coffee cups I've ever gotten at different places and what colors they are. Whenever I was thinking about color choices for this, and they always, coffee cups themselves are kind of boring. The takeaway coffee cups are kind of boring. But they would make a nice little house. So, And I'm avoiding the door because I plan on doing something different with the door. Because, let's face it, fairies have unique and vibrant personalities. And they're going to have a vibrant front door. At least in my opinion. They're going to make their house look cute and adorable. And a brown front door, just, you know, you're going to take some berries or something and paint it. So I'm not getting as even a color on this as I want. As I said, this may turn out to be a total complete disaster. It's a medium I'm not used to working with, so it may take me a while to get this to look the way I think it should look. I am by no means, shape or form, an expert at Inktense, but I'm willing to give it a try. Because, hey, if you don't try, you'll never know whether it works for you or not. And I always try to encourage people to try stuff that, you know, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to try new stuff. Don't be afraid, you know, if you've never worked with something, go for it. The worst you can do is it's going to cost you a little bit of colored pencil and some paper. One of the reasons I love PDFs is I can always, if this turns out to be a total and complete disaster, I can always reprint it and color it with colored pencils. I admit I'm thinking about that, you know, because I do want to do Emily proud in coloring her artwork. But I thought it was a great image to attempt Inktense on, only because it is so adorable and there's a lot of potential on this page for colors and just happiness. So putting a little bit more color up here, maybe a little less than generous with my color up here. And as I said, putting it on the for me, putting it on the palette and bringing it over seems to be working much better than coloring with the pencil on the paper. I've actually seen people take the pencil themselves and dampen it and take the color right off the pencil. I don't want to do that because I have not had the best luck with water, and I can see just destroying a pencil. And I know I'm turning my page, and I'm not going to apologize for it. Most everybody, if they're honest with themselves, unless they're a professional artist and you're used to working on canvases on an easel, turn their coloring pages. You know, let's just face it. To get the right angle, to get it to come out the way you want, you turn your page. You know, I don't even like working on an easel whenever I'm painting. So, because, you know, getting the right angle, I am not a contortionist. Oh my goodness, I can't speak. With my hands, so turning the page is what helps me get a better result. And if you do it, everybody else does it too. You know, it's something that most people do, if they're honest with themselves. And I refuse to apologize for doing something that everybody does. little too much water there. Put some more of that dry color in. I don't want to make anybody sick by watching it with me flipping the page, but I should be cautious of just moving it too fast. But okay, there you go. Sorry, I'm concentrating. I go quiet, and yes, I have my tongue sticking out of my mouth. If it, you can't see it, but yeah, I going along the edge here. I've got my tongue sticking out. Just this is how I operate. That's how I roll. Again, I'm going to take that little bitty brush, go and get a little color, and get this little area there. And I'm checking my water, and it's getting pretty dirty, so I'm going to dump it. And I'm dumping it in. The little cups I'm using are 2-ounce shot cups. The little red cup here is a 2-ounce shot cup, and I have a 18-ounce other cup that I'm dumping the water in. And I do have something to drink, and I have got that with a lid on it, so I don't accidentally try to dump my brush in my drinking in my soda. That's never a good thing. So I don't want to drink. I don't think Inktense and Pepsi would work, and I really don't want to drink Pepsi that's been tainted with ink. And as I said, that theory may not work for everybody. And no, I'm not using bottled water. That's a bottle from bottled water that I filled with tap water. Less likelihood for it to go plummeting to the ground. Okay, and I've got my rainbow. Now, to decide what color do I want the front door, and I am going to try, I'm going to put the mid vermilion back, and I'm actually going to turn the pencil in my pencil tray, and that way I know that that's a color that I have used for the cup. I will turn it back once I'm done with this picture. That way, if I need to go back and do more, I can do that. I'm gonna let this dry off a little bit. I may have to go back in. Touch up some of this. Rainbow. May not be the cutest rainbow, but okay. But I'm going to use that yellow that I've got laid down. If there's still some left here, I'm going to use the same yellow and windows. Such a pretty yellow. I'm not a big fan of yellow, so whenever I find a pretty yellow, I kind of have a tendency to stick with it. Okay. And I noticed I did not do the little bars between there, so I'm going to take my tiny little brush, get some color, and do these crossbars. So a lot can be said for a tiny little brush. And I pulled the tiny little brush out thinking, oh, I'll use it for details for the leaves. Now, where to go next? I think the next I'm going to do is this flower. And although I love the golden yellow, I'm going to go with sunshine yellow. And do my daisy. I'm assuming this is like a daisy in the sunshine yellow, and I'm going to just go over this whole flower in the sunshine yellow. Not going to worry about shading at this point. The only thing I just noticed that I got stuff all over the cup lid. Trying to not to go over the lines. I'm getting quiet. That means I'm concentrating. My brain's actually working. Sorry. I can't help it. I'm still not used to talking where I have to be entertaining. I try to be entertaining. If I fail miserably, please let me know. So okay. Let me get my. As I said, I have a feeling that these Inktense are going to last me a long time, even if I use them on a regular basis, because I'm doing a whole picture here, and with putting them on the palette, it seems to not be using a whole lot of them, which is nice. I'm gonna see. Yeah, I'm actually gonna pull out a fine water brush I have. Although I'll probably dip it in the water, but I want the brush part, and I don't have. Hi, baby. That, and I'm going to use, what is this? No, not the Sierra Gold. Cadmium orange. Here. I don't know if you can see. Come here, baby. Come here. Come here. Come here. Can you see him? Hold on, let me see. Hi. What did I do? Oh, he got scared. He walked away. I got Riggs here. Go lay down, baby. Go lay down. He hears me talking and wants to know who I'm talking to. You have to be in the center of attention. I'm going to use that orange. Is kind of shading. To my brush, so I'm not tempted to push on the and pull out more water, because I don't want to pull out a bunch of water on this. I'm just trying to get a little bit of shading to come down into these flowers. Not make it a defined, but give it a little texture to that. Too much. Defining those petals a little bit more. Okay, and that's, now I want to use, what is it? Does it matter brown? Go over this. By swatching these out this morning, it gave me a better idea of what colors are going to look like on the page, which really helps. I have a tendency not to swatch, but I thought, I know these change. The colors change from what looks like in the pencil to what it is once it's activated. I thought, I have no idea. I have swatched. I I need to get into the practice of, whenever I get new pencils, swatching them out. I've told several people to swatch, but then I fall down on the practice. I'm say as I do, not as I do as I say, not as I do type of person. Bad girl, bad. Okay, I'm gonna take felt green, which I just think is an awesome green. And I'm gonna do up some felt green, kind of nice, get a nice big area of felt green. And take my other brush. And I'm going to let these little things sit for a minute or two, and then I'm going to come back and add some detail to them. But isn't that this is the felt green in the Inktense. Isn't that just a beautiful green color? And more on my thing. Pretty color. Do up these leaves real fast. Again, I'm not concerned about shading. I will add shading here in a little bit. The good thing about Inktense is if you don't use a ton of water, yeah, the paper's damp, but the ink itself tends to dry pretty quick, and you can go over them and add layers to them, versus watercolor is, if you want to put a color over it, you got to make sure that the underlying color is totally and completely dry, or else you're just going to get a muddy mess. And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm too impatient and to mess about overly working or waiting for stuff to dry. I'm bad. I admit that I'm bad about waiting for things to dry and waiting for next steps. I want it done now. I'm an impatient person, you could say. I'm running low on. I got too much water in that go round. Okay, go off to the side here. Some more colors that I can pull in. I want that nice, beautiful color. Okay. I might have to do this because I just looked at the clock. I've been filming for about an hour, and I try to make my videos about an hour because, you know, a 2-hour video is a big commitment for someone to watch all at one time. So I may finish these leaves and then continue on in a second video. So you can break it up and just watch part of it at a time. As I said, if I was streaming, I'd go for 2 hours, but I'm not streaming. I'm just videoing And I know people have, you know, have lives and have things that they've got to do, and sitting down for an hour respite is one thing. Sitting down for 2 hours to watch a video is a whole nother matter. So, but plus I think my puppy dog needs to take a potty break. I think that's one of the reasons why he came in here. Or he just heard me talking and wanted to see who I was talking to. Because he's like, I know there's nobody here, Mommy, because I would have known if somebody walked in the door. He's very protective, very, very protective of his mom, which is one of the reasons I got a dog, is so that I could have the protection. So I'm not complaining about him being very protective, but he is very protective. Friendly as heck, as long as he thinks you're okay. But if you would threaten, that's a whole nother ball game. He has to know that I accept you as a friend before he's overly friendly toward people. Oops, we're over. Okay. And I think I'm going to call it for this video. I did the cup, I did the flower, or part of the flower, I did the leaves, I did my little rainbow, which is a little wonky, but it gets the job done. I'm sitting here talking, touch up a little bit of the orange here. And I will come back and revisit this to do the kind of rock here, or ground, the grass, leaves, and the other flowers. So thank you for watching. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you on the next video. Bye, guys.